Hey everybody, it's me. I just wanted to let everybody know now, tomorrow, the 8th of June, is my scheduled trial date for this stuff I've been fighting. And I've been filing for certain things like a discovery, and these are things that, according to the law of the land, I have the right to. I have the right to all the evidence that they're going to use against me. I have the right to know what it is, witnesses, witness statements, everything. And I filed for that. I also filed for another extension in case they needed time to get me that information, and for me to be able to go through that information, no matter how much it is. And I did that several days ago, and I've still never heard back. I filed for a lot of things, folks, and they gave me some and didn't give me the others, so or refused. Matter of fact, some of the stuff that I was wanting from the judge, like his oath, or the oath he swore to, man, I filed that. It's a court document. Well, they told me I need to get that from him. And I said, okay, well, how am I supposed to do that? I call down here, I can't get a hold of him. I come down here, he won't see me. The only time I can see him is if I'm in a court, having, I have to be in front of him. And this prosecutor actually looked at me and said, well, I guess what you'll have to do is follow him home one night. Now, this is what the prosecutor told me. He's suggesting, and they all laughed, of course, because there was several, probably 6, 7 lawyers in there with him when they were trying to intimidate me. But they all laughed, and I said, I can't even believe you, the prosecutor, even clowned a joke about that. Because just a few minutes, just maybe 2 minutes before that, I told the prosecutor, I said, if I get that Steve Dubas, that officer, in the witness stand, I'm going to destroy him. And the prosecutor looked at me and said, you should say, you mean you would destroy his testimony. You don't mean destroy him. I said, you're right. I rolled my eyes. I said, you're right. That's exactly what I meant. Well, he's the one that suggests I'd follow the judge home from courthouse one night if I had some questions for him. Wonder how many bullets that would get me. How much jail time if it didn't kill me. They think I'm stupid, folks. I swear they think I'm stupid. But tomorrow, I think it's 1:30 in the afternoon tomorrow. Unless I get some kind of paperwork today or get a call, or now they will do that, have the bailiff call me. But they already know, and I already know, if they decide in the end of this tomorrow, let's say, they decide I'm guilty of something, I don't know what they would have evidence of that for, but even if they decide it, they know I've got many grounds for an appeal. Obstruction of justice. I've got, there's that for one. Cop perjuring himself on a police report, lying, and he's lucky he didn't get me shot that night when he said I drove my car at him trying to run over him, and had a witness to back it. He's lucky I didn't get shot that night. But I've asked to have a change of venue. I filed to have a change of venue. I've filed to have the judge recuse himself from this case because it's personal to him now, because he watched my videos. And it's become personal to him. Just like at the end of my pre-trial, after I talked to the prosecutor and I went in and talked to the judge. At the end, after he done handed all my paperwork to the bailiff and everything, decided what we're going to trial, he then stopped and looked at me and put a big grin on his face and told me, "We've accommodated you up to now, Mr. Grooms, with not wearing a mask, but you will wear a mask on the trial day, or you won't be allowed in." So, seeing as how the mask mandate was dropped actually a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but June 2nd was the scheduled date for it, that is gone. But they're still trying to force people to wear a mask, and they are doing it inside the courtroom, if you go along with it. I haven't, and I'm not going to. But I'll be able to go live if they don't let me in the door for whatever reason. But they know I'm going, I can appeal it. I've got enough grounds for an appeal. It costs about $60, and it'll be filed the day after. Day after tomorrow. If the trial's tomorrow, it'll be filed the day after. Unless I get found not guilty on all charges, dismissed with prejudice. And then I won't have no reason to appeal it. They're going to drop all charges, and with prejudice, I have no problems with that. That's fine with me. I'm done. That's all I wanted. Well, I wanted Steve Dubus's job, but they're proud of officers that do things like he does. He's probably going to be captain. Or he's probably going to be police chief one day. Him. Because we know he's a liar. We know he claims to walk that Christian line, but he don't walk it when he works. I guess he takes his crosses off and his belief system off and leaves that at home when he straps on his uniform and his gun and his badge. And all they said is that the only trouble he's ever been in is he was busted by a lieutenant sleeping in his car. Well, if he's doing stuff like what he did to me, we're better off with him sleeping in his car than have him out here actually doing anything. But anyway, folks, I just want to let you know about that. Anybody cares? Same courtroom, just at 1:30 tomorrow. And if they change, if I get something, I'll let you know if something changes. So, but don't look like it's going to, which no problem with me. I don't care. I'm kind of curious to. I mean, they're telling me so far. This is what the judge told me. I committed a crime, which I'm in a criminal court. There is no victim, or the state is the victim. I'm not allowed a jury trial. It's a judge trial. I'm not allowed the evidence that the prosecutor has so that I can try to defend myself against what they're going to try to use. The judge has proven that he can practice law from the bench, which is an obstruction of justice. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. And it just goes on and on. You know, I figure somewhere along the line there would be somebody that had some morals and the position to put a stop to the lies. Because people, they got me out on a $1,500 OR bond, claiming I was driving on a suspended license. The clown cop that said I was driving on a suspended license has never even seen my driver's license. He's never even pulled me over to ask me for a driver's license. He never saw my license. And the two cops that arrested me and took me to the police station to book me, he told them to write me a ticket for driving without a license. And they looked at him and said, no, we're not going to do it. Or they told him on the radio they weren't going to do it because they was looking at my driver's license because I gave them my ID. They were looking at it, and it was legal, and they weren't going to write a ticket for it. And he come back the next day and filed the ticket that I was driving on a suspended license. He's just making shit up. But they got me out on a $1,500 OR bond right now. OR, on recognizance, because they know I ain't running. They know I'll be in court. If they thought I wouldn't show up, they wouldn't have me. I'd be bonded out through a bondsman is what I ended up being bonded out through. But I didn't have to because these people know I drove over 800 miles from Indianapolis, where I lived in Indianapolis. I drove over 800 miles, 400 miles over here to go to court over a seatbelt ticket, folks. I drove over here 3 times from Indianapolis. The first year that we were here, we were running back and forth. So they knew I would be in court. So they weren't going to hold me and make me bond out. They didn't even, these cops put me in handcuffs. They took the gun out of my pocket and gave it to my wife. Handcuffed me because they were told to arrest me on fleeing from an officer and driving on a suspended license. So that when they arrested me, they took my gun, I put my hands behind my back, they handcuffed me, they put me in a police car, or searched me, put me in a police car, took me down to the police station, booked me, fingerprinted me and shit. And then they kindly got me back in the police car and drove me back home and apologized for having to do it. That's the facts. The 2 guys that arrested me did not want to arrest me. They apologized to my wife and daughter for doing it. They were just following orders. Some lieutenant, I know a sergeant was told by a lieutenant, and the sergeant told them boys to arrest me. And when they first came up, there was no intent on arrest, or at least that's what they told me. And I kind of believe them because I believe them when they said they didn't want to arrest me. But they are the ones that probably knew me the best out of the entire department. Now, a lot of them know me, but they never talked to me, never met with me or anything. They just know of me about my channel and the videos and stuff that I do about them, you know. And we're also going to see how many people other than Officer Dubas that they've got together that's going to be willing to lie in that courtroom tomorrow, if this trial goes tomorrow. I'm curious. It's going to be fun. People, there's no jail time. They had 6 months, I think, what was it? 6 months in jail or something like that for the driving on a suspended license. Well, that didn't happen. So that's gone already. I've already showed them the paperwork on it. They just refused to take it. But on top of it, I got a video where I took my driver's license to a Boardman cop that was sitting on the side of the road and videotaped him running it. And he told me there was nothing wrong with it. Now they're going to try to come up with somebody from some state somehow has my driver's license suspended. That's the only thing they can do. These people have been conspiring since all this started to violate my rights under the color of law, people. This is Article 18 U.S. Code 241 and 242 because they carried it out. Now, I've already talked to the FBI. They said Title 18 is still in place, even though we're under medical martial law, or not martial, medical emergency in the United States. But that law, that Article 18 still stands. But anyway, folks, that's enough for right now. I just wanted to let you guys know about my trial tomorrow and see what happens. Tomorrow, even if they found me guilty on all charges, I wouldn't go to jail tomorrow. Unless he does the sentencing immediately. He could. He might hang me as far as I know. Does anybody know if he's a hanging judge? He may hang me for not wearing a mask. Because that's what this whole thing was about. Officer Dubas watched my channels, and I bitched for a year about, I can't wear these masks. I'm not going to. I've been trespassed. And I tell you what, I've been trespassed from 3 locations now, not by the people who own it or manage those locations, but by the Boardman Township Police Department. The first one was Five Guys Restaurant. Nobody in that building ever told me I could not come back. I was not welcome back on the property. Nobody that worked there, not the owner, nobody. The video's on my channel. The officer in charge is the only one that told me, the owner said for me not to come back. But the owner didn't tell me that. But I ain't went back. That was over a year ago. Then there's the public library, Boardman Public Library. These clowns call it public, but it's private. Just like the police department's a public place because taxpayers pay for it, but it's a private organization and covered under the thin blue line. Bullshit. But, and the other one was Giant Eagle, because I've got video of the district manager of that. There's 2 stores in this town, Boardman Township, and he runs both of them and has been there for 13 years. I have him on video giving me permission to be in there without a mask, and if anybody had a problem with it, his cashiers didn't want to deal with me, for them to call him, and he would come down and ring the stuff up for me because I showed him my medical records. And we had a talk about it. I got that recording on my channel. So, this Dubas, man, he's made shit up from the get-go. He's saying, he told him that Giant Eagle, somebody in the human resources, HR department, claimed that I've caused so much trouble in there for not wearing a mask and fighting with their people that Giant Eagle wanted me criminally trespassed. And that's what he was trying to do at the time that all this started. That's his story, and he's sticking to it. Well, he didn't know I had a video of Andrew that runs the 2 stores in Boardman giving me permission to be in there without a mask. See, he don't understand that I cover my asses with videos. He's hoping I'm one of these guys just like every day. Nobody had video getting permission to do that. But since it's been such a focus of mine, I've made videos of all this shit. And that's what he has seen. He's seen my videos of me going around town and not wore a mask. He wanted to be the person, the officer, to put a mask on Watachee's face. That's what this whole thing was. He thinks he's, who you guys look, Wyatt Earp, and I'm the Cowboys or something. Because I won't wear a mask. And he's going to be Wyatt Earp, and he's going to mask me. I still ain't wore a mask. And it's over. You guys have a good one out there. Just remember, there's only one way out of this, and that's through Jesus Christ. He is the only door. There is no way coming through the back, climbing over the fence, or digging a tunnel, or nothing like that. There's one door, one way in, one way. That's it. Jesus Christ. Make no mistakes, God loves you, and so do I. Have a good one, folks. Till next time.